Okay, what story about hiding from? How's it called? I don't know how they're called. From the draft. That's how they say. Okay, it was year 1992, and since the war was already happening in Croatia and Bosnia, there was a draft. So army was picking up the men of the military age, which is I guess 18 to 50, something like that. So they were picking up people. Okay, it first started. Okay, normal. They would send you this letter that you're supposed to go to some office and report yourself. After that, you would be sent to defend your fatherland. And but then there was a rumor. I personally didn't see it, but there was a rumor that they're actually going around and with a truck, and they would park it in front of a club or bar or places where young people, would gather in the evening. So they would just park and ask for personal ID, and if you fit the military age, they would just put you directly in a truck. So knowing that, there was no question in my mind anymore. Like, am I gonna go spend evenings and nights outside or stay at home? And because staying at home was also problematic, because they were coming at your door too to pick you up to your address. Then I decided to spend the evenings and nights at my brother's place. He had very small apartment, tiny apartment, studio apartment, and I was going there every evening and was spending nights over there, and then during the day I would get out. And once there, what do you do every evening, every night, totally alone in a tiny apartment? Then I started watching movies, and it worked for a couple of days. But the problem was that his apartment was it was on a first floor, so the window of the apartment was right next to the entrance door of a building. So paranoia started. Okay, if they come here, not necessarily for me, but for anybody else, they would see the lights in a room where I was, because you could see it from outside. Yes, they would see the lights, and then maybe they will knock on the door because of him. He was away anyway, but maybe they'll knock the door because of him. And what do I do? Because they see that there is somebody inside because of the lights. So I was laying in a bed and watching the video cassettes at the time, movies on video cassette. So first thing, I just lowered the volume of the film, so of the TV, so it couldn't be heard outside. Then I put the blinds that were on a window. But then I started freaking out, because those blinds, as all the other blinds, they have little tiny holes in them. So just putting them down wasn't enough, because in my mind they could still see from outside through those tiny holes on a blinds that there is a light inside flickering, and realize that somebody's in. So after lowering the volume and practically not hearing nothing, at the level where you couldn't hear nothing. Then I started darkening the picture of the video so that to kind of lower that flickering that was happening outside. And then, like after, at one point, I just find myself totally sitting in a corner, not hearing nothing, staring into something that I don't hear nothing, and watching something that is too dark to actually see anything. Total paranoia, just like sitting in the dark and kind of hallucinating and feeling really, really shitty. So that's that episode. That ended at the point where I managed to get out of a country for a first time. Then I went to, I don't even remember what was where I went first, where I went after. Anyway, that period when I was getting in and out before going to the States, I went to Vienna and stayed like 2 months. Then I went to Ljubljana in Slovenia, stayed like 1 month. But because I didn't have visa problems in Hungary and Austria, but because all of the war and all that. Which Slovenia was a part at the beginning, so they were issuing some kind of visas for all the citizens from ex-Yugoslavia. I don't remember exactly, maybe like 1 month or so then you had to get out. So I would go to Vienna, then come to Novi Sad maybe 2 days to see what's going on, then get out, then go to Budapest for a month, then go to Slovenia for a month, then return back to Budapest, and then so because at that time was the thing was that famous Lord Owen and all of those heads of estates and were trying to fix the things. So there was a bunch of these meetings with the presidents of ex-republics together with those external forces trying to settle down the things and find a solution. Since it lasted for months and months and months, during those months I was flying all around, kind of waiting to see what's going to happen, hoping that things will settle down. And at one point I saw that there is no way that the things will. I just couldn't be all over the place all the time and not doing nothing and not planning nothing, like. So after that I just said fuck this shit. I went to New York.